You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. I can't sing, I know, right? Someone's gonna leave me a comment. Your singing sucks. Don't ever do that again. It's bad enough that you're bald and ugly. That's what happens when you read all the comments in the YouTube videos. People say, I don't believe you read all the comments. And then I read the comment. And then I respond. Oh my God, he actually reads the comments. I have to be different. I always want to do the opposite of everything else that everybody else on YouTube does that I have absolutely no respect for. None. I actually had some women, I don't know why, all of a sudden, like the past year and a half, I have all these female subscribers. Not that I'm objecting to that at all. Before, I had none. You know, I certainly don't look any better. They were telling me, they said, you do look kind of dangerous. If I didn't know you in your videos. Yeah, I don't see any like a Harley Davidson or skulls tattooed on me, but I guess I do look dangerous. You know, after all these years, I don't see these tattoos anymore. In live stream, everybody wants me to make a video about my tattoos, which I would never do because it's just ink underneath the skin. I kind of find it shocking. There's all these heavily tattooed people talking about, oh, I got this tattoo here, and this means it's like, I guess people want to watch that, but I would never do that. I mean, that just seems completely ridiculous. I actually didn't catch hardly any flack yesterday from the Australia video that I posted. There were about 15 or so Australians. They said, oh, mate, I don't believe this. Oh. It's like, I had hundreds of Australians ask me to do this, literally. And like 99% of the commenters were Australians. They were like, yeah, this is what's going on. And there's video proof from the government official who admitted it. And then there's these Aboriginal videos, you know, ones of a group of Aboriginals people making a video saying, yeah, this is what's happening. And then there's this Auntie June, I believe is her name. You know, this older tribal elder is like, yeah. It's like, you know, what do you mean it's not going on? These are the people right there that are saying that it is, including hundreds of Australians. I actually caught some flack, and I don't care about 20 commenters, you know, trying to stick it to me. It's like, why do you think that I made that video? It certainly wasn't for my own edification. I don't pretend to know or to speak for Australians, but I always get in trouble when I stick up for people. It happened to me last time a couple years ago. And I stuck up for all these women that I got. These women contacted me, some women, actually it was 3 women total that contacted me originally, about another person that I'm not going to name that was doing horrible things to these people, and I stuck up for them, and I caught so much hell it wasn't even funny. And then all of a sudden, these women who saw me sticking up for them, and I think that was only part of the reason really they did it, even women I'd never heard of before, never heard of their names or nothing, they just made, it was like 14 different women made videos about the atrocities that they had to put up with. And so I was vindicated. I guess it's true, you stick your neck out for people, and I guess that's not supposed to be a fault though. Like with me, I was sticking up for the Aboriginal people and the Australians. I've never been to Australia. I've always wanted to go to Australia and New Zealand, but obviously I'll never get a chance to go there now. I stick my neck out for people, and people, it's like you stick your neck out, whoop, someone's going to try to chop it off. You know, you could do that as a mistake. Say, well, you know, at least I meant well. You know, I stuck my neck out for people, and you know, I got it chopped off. But that's what people are supposed to do. You know, a lot of people, it's kind of like that, there's a syndrome, a name for this syndrome, where people see atrocities happening in the streets of New York. There's like 100 people that can hear it and see it out of their window. I don't want to get involved in that. You know, at the very least, they could pick up the phone and call the cops, right? Not that the cops would ever show up in time. But, you know, you do that down here in the South, generally, I mean, people are going to storm out the door. They're going to make it end. You want to know one of reason number 10,000 I like the South? People say, you Southerners, you know, you stupid people. That used to be the thinking. I don't really think that thinking prevails anymore. But we stick up for people. I love sticking up for people. Even my own parents actually have given me hell. Like, why get involved? Don't get involved. It's like, you know, I see something going wrong, I'm going to do the right thing. And it always ends up causing me grief. You know, I could just say, to hell with it. I don't care what happens to them. When I had, and of course, I think I inherited, that's the word I'm going to use, I inherited all these Australian viewers from all the photography videos and gear reviews that I've done. And, you know, I love Australians, love basically everybody, unless they're an evil person. And they said, you know, we really appreciate the exposure on this stuff. Yeah, I guess I could have been like most of, I don't give a damn, you know, it's not going to make me any money. What am I going to make a video about Australia for? But I'm not like that. But I always end up catching hell for it, so. But I'm never going to feel bad. And none of you, and I don't mean you specifically, but none of the people out there on the internet make me feel bad about it. You know. Well, in your business, this is the one I get from some really horrible, and I consider these people to be really horrible. And if you're one of them, I don't care. They'll say something like, stick to photography, it's none of your business. Why do you care about people being harmed and, the stomped on, have their necks stepped on? Why do you give a damn? Stick to photography. Who gives a damn about those people? I've seen those comments. Yeah, I got no love for you, those people, I'm not like that, I'm not dialed in to not give a damn about seeing other people, with the boot on their neck. I'm not like that, and there needs to be a whole lot more people like that in the world. That's the reason for a lot of the problems in the world, that there's not more people like that. Everybody else, I don't give a damn, it's not my problem. You know exactly what I'm talking about too, don't you? I was just talking with a Fujifilm executive about some camera gear and what's coming out, stuff like that. And just at the camera store, talking manager buddy and some other photography people. Don't blame me. People say, why aren't you making videos about photography? Well, I've made some recently. The last one I made really pissed people off about that horrific, nasty little Nikon camera that they came out with. Not impressed by it, not impressed by the Z lenses, but outside of that, the photography world is just, it's just deader than these rocks. What do you want me to do? I mean, there's a chip shortage. The whole world, is being laid off because they're unjuiced. A lot of people not getting juiced, laid off. There's just issues all over the world. I mean, if you don't know that, you've really been living in a box. I'm not responsible for the photography world being deader than the doornail. A lot of people are doing what I've been doing, because I'm standing on my hind legs like a meerkat. You've seen those cats out in the desert. They stand on their hind legs. They look around for the dangers. I've been selling everything that I don't need and buying what is substantial for subsistence. In other words, things to keep you alive and things to pay the bills. I work 7 days a week. I technically have 4 jobs. I made a video recently showing these super expensive, gigantic, monstrous leather sewing machines over here I make stuff with. My latest commissioned piece is a fancy, I got it right over here, a fancy, let me grab it over here, is a fancy tobacco pouch made out of buffalo, and the top flap is going to have this alligator. This is alligator neck, by the way, these neck ridges. It's going to have an alligator on the top flap. So that's my latest commissioned piece, and I've been designing it in my head. Standing in the shower with the shampoo in my hair. Yeah, I know, that was not that funny. Thinking about the design. I finally I build things in my head, came up with a perfect, man, it's perfect. And the strap is going to go right between the neck ridges right here, because there's a trough right here. The closing strap, perfect. Man, it's going to be right in the middle, go right between those bony ridges right there. Perfect. Brilliant design. Dude's going to have the world's only, not a buffalo, elk, excuse me. I said buffalo, I meant to say elk. I mistakenly said that. So he's going to have the world's only elk tobacco pouch covered in alligator. So, and, I guess I lead a strange life. Not really. I mean, I don't have any weird secrets or anything like that. I think everybody has secrets, but I really don't. I lead a simple life. I like leading a simple life. Life is too complicated to think about all the things I need to do and lead some sort of, secret life or anything like that. Sometimes it seems weird. I'm thinking I'll be in the shower or something. You're like, I'm working on a booklet on retroduction, and at the same time, I'm designing a elk skin tobacco pouch covered in alligator. It's a pretty weird combination. Pretty sure it is. There was a guy that does portfolio diversification recommendations to rich people. I forget his name, but he is normally recommending real estate purchases, land purchases, of 10% of rich people's portfolios. And because of the way the world has completely shifted off its axis the past couple of years, due to all the reasons that you know of, and probably a lot that you don't know but should know, he's doubled that to 20%. To me, that's even too low. I'm not a person who has assets. Right now, I got $4,300 to my name. But I sold everything and been taking virtually every free penny I have and sticking it into land. And thank goodness I have a farm, and I've been keeping track of this now for the past year. There's a serious issue, and the price has gone up 100. Right now, actually, it's higher. It's 140% above normal. Fertilizer. Sorry, I have a little bit of allergy. Fertilizer is astronomically higher. A bunch of farmers, including my rich buddy that lives east here, knows a ton of farmers, owns tons of land, and all the farmers are telling him, farmers make about that much profit to begin with, but now that fertilizer is way more than doubled, they're saying to hell with it. Why even grow crops? I mean, nobody should work for free. I mean, to break even, you're going to struggle to break even? No. So next year is going to be a killer, and I put the chart up on Instagram too, by the way. You can go look at the chart. You can confirm it everywhere. It's not some sort of conspiracy or tinfoil hat stuff. Next year is just going to be hell. I mean, there's going to be shortages of grown food. They're going to be astronomically higher because they're just not going to. Farmers aren't going to grow it anymore. Why? Mass farming, you don't technically need fertilizer to grow, but mass farming does. It needs it. There are all sorts of tips and tricks, but all the people, 90% of these mass farmers, fertilizer. And since their profits were marginal to begin with, now they're impossible. If you were a farmer and you were going to work your butt off, just to try to break even, which means you've made no money at all, why would you do it? So this is planned. You can find this information all over the internet, everywhere, but it's been ramping up from what people that I know have been telling me, like, these farmers are not going to plant anything next year. They're just not going to do it. The fertilizer is over $1,000 a ton. It used to be around $380 to $450 a ton, and now it's over $1,000 a ton. Can't break even, much less make a profit. So don't do it. We ain't going to grow no food, and that means there ain't going to be no These are going to be astronomically high prices. So I, like people that have been standing on their hind legs like a meerkat, have been buying necessities. I am so happy that, I got rid of everything I didn't need to buy a beautiful farm. My farm actually has over 9.5 feet of topsoil on it. And that's not hyperbole, it does. I have video proof that my farm has basically 10 feet plus of topsoil on it. Awesome. I'm so glad I own that land. I've made countless videos out there. I think a lot of people have their head buried in the sand. There are many people who have told me they just can't handle the world, what's going on, and they've been like watching Seinfeld episodes and Frasier episodes to get the feeling that they're living back in the 1990s. But you have to face reality, you have to buckle down, you have to be like a tree in the wind. If you're inflexible, you got to break. You have to be like the willow tree that bends in the wind. I think that's a quote from Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee says, be like water, right? Isn't that what Bruce Lee said? Don't be inflexible, bend like the tree. It's one of those karate things. Or Bruce Lee, was it Jeet Kune Do? Isn't that what Bruce Lee taught? Jeet Kune Do. Obviously, I butchered the name of that, so apologies. People really have, including myself, made unnecessary buys, cut off. The photography world, you thought the photography world was struggling on life support before. It is struggling hard. There's not a single thing that you're going to say, that's going to contradict that, because it is undeniable, 1,000% undeniable. People say, why are you doing these videos? You're doing photography videos lately. What do you want me to do? Talk about the photography world being dead, the cameras that aren't out there, the chip shortage and nobody shipping stuff, even that stuff that's been in production now for years. Like, I can't make it anymore. Chip shortage. That's just the nature of life. There are tough times, whether they're natural or they're unnatural. Read my lips, right? I don't like being called a prepper, but anybody that actually shuns somebody that is prepared and makes plans and contingencies. So, fertilizer is now impossibly expensive and people are going to farm. I might have some farmland. I'm going to put money where it matters. Where it matters is not into electronic devices, it's in stuff that's important, that is a security spot to put it, and it ain't in gold and silver and cash. It's definitely not in cash, as we very well know. Important things to have in dire times are land, skills, something else that I won't mention. It's made out of I'm not going to mention it. And then lastly, gold and silver. But there are other things to have other than gold and silver. Because in a dire situation, gold and silver are useless. What is useful is stuff that keeps you alive and puts food on the table, that you could barter with. You could barter with things, you could barter with skills and things. I have a lot of skills, and I have stuff to barter. I'm a person of deep thought and introspection, and I look what's going on in the world, and I don't mean like garbage on the news, because I don't listen to any of those fools. For stuff that's really going on, whether it be fake or not, And we both know the answer to that one, at least I hope you do. And believe in being prepared. Continue to write books. I can continue to do product photography gigs. I continue to do leather work. I continue to hunt and peck around for real estate. I read every comment. I lead a simple life, and I'm working twice as hard to make half as much. And it makes me ill sometimes that I can't take a week off. Maybe I don't deserve a week off. But that's life, I got a roof over my head, and I've obviously got food to eat, as you can tell from my fat physique. Can you say fat physique? Is that contradiction like dehydrated water, fat physique? Technically, it's accurate. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I read every comment, and I even read the nasty ones. People say horrible things. And it's just them getting their stress out, the stress of their daily life, whatever the heck that may be. Don't care. But any donation is always warmly welcome. The link is below, or you could tell me how much you hate me. And, I read those comments too. I hate you. You suck. I used to like you, but you don't talk about photography gear anymore. It's like, well, I'm so sorry that I'm not responsible for the world being turned upside down by insanity and nonsense and wackadoodle craziness and ABCXYZ. I'm not responsible for that. Don't lay that on my shoulders. I'm not going to be Nero, fiddling while Rome burns, and I'm not going to be, like the people in the Titanic. I heard that when the Titanic was sinking, right before it like went full vertical, that there were like rich people sitting in the lounge, like sipping tea, like la-di-da. What's that slogan from Fight Club? He goes, "Man, you're polishing the brass on the Titanic." That's such a good one. In other words, you're doing something completely futile, irrelevant, completely oblivious to what's going on. You're polishing the brass on the Titanic. It's all going down! Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like these videos. If you don't, that's fine too. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I'm going to make an elk tobacco pouch covered in alligator neck scales. I got a brilliant design in my head. Brilliant. It's too bad I'm out of alligator, except for this piece. Do 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 do.